Alright, let's go here. Here we go. Whoa! Going a little far. Museum Center. Museum Information. Chickamauga, Chattanooga. National Military Park.
Take the next right, then your destination will be on the right.
It's a pretty nice house. Alright, let's find a place to put down. I might actually, hang on, I might shift down to the nowhere parking lot. Yeah, I'm gonna shift down to the nowhere parking lot just because I can get better solder down here, and that's important. Need my solder power. I already need it for the solder battery, so we will not deploy, but for my actual solder panels on top, so. Alright. Oh, let me get this. Ah! Everything's tangled up. Now, good news is, it's not very cold. I think I can just down to the vest. Oh God. I am so sorry, guys. I did not mean to just chuck y'all into the abyss. Let's put y'all here. Put y'all here. Getting complete off-road experience today. Oh, for sure. Oh, because I knocked you onto the abyss. That was my bad. I was putting on my jacket and I caught the cord that you were on and just knocked y'all over. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this on right here. There we go. Bam. Come on. There we go. And now I got my chat phone right here. So now I can see stuff. How long have I been on? For an hour? Oh shit, it's been an hour already? Is it push-up time? Yeah, it's push-up time. Okay. We'll get some push-ups done real quick. Be easy. Sit down for a minute. Probably knock out push-ups right. There we go. Here we go. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15 push-ups, y'all. Alright. Now, let me look up where the trail is at, because that's just what we're going to do today. I'm going to do the visitor center by myself. And just one thing I've come to learn is that people don't really enjoy reading things on stream. So, that's okay. Anyways, okay. Oh, right, it's over here now. Alright, Google Maps, what you got for me? Okay, so if we head down, the trail should be over there somewhere. Actually, I can see the trail over there. So we'll go to the trail. That should take us up into the woods, so. This doesn't stretch all the way over. Hang on. %. So it's not super cold, but I'm still gonna bring these hand warmers. This way, if my hands start getting cold, because it looks like we're gonna walk into the forest. And then we get this plugged in. There we go. Get this plugged in right here. Wrap this around like that. All right, there we go. Bingo. Okay. Real-time chat. Alright. Let's do this. Probably just gonna make everything very heavy. That is more than okay. Alright. Alright, y'all let me know how well the signal's doing. It should be fine. Can't imagine it's too bad. It looks good. Yeah, signal's looking good, so. How much power does this have? 4? Okay, what? Full battery. Alright. Come on over here. Well, you know what? Let's go to the visitor center real quick. We can at least figure out where the heck we're going. I should at least connect the map, so I can get all the trails. So people probably look at me like, what is this crazy person doing? I'm just getting a trail map, guys. That's it. I mean, granted, I know where the trails are, but always helps to have a trail map. So. There we go, Chickamauga Battlefield Visitor Center. Alright. Wait a minute, gotta get my mask on. Look at that. 6-pounder smooth bore gun. Nice. Alright. Oh, real-time chat, what are you doing, man? Stop. Real-time chat. You're real fucking up at a high rate of speed today. Alright, there we go. That's the information. That's what I need. Hi. Hi. Just come here to get a map.
Sure. Sure. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you.
You want a trail map also?
Yes, yes, that's actually what I'm headed over to. See what we got here.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
And,
Okay, and then are there Great Pass? Wait. Oh, paved road. Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Alright. Just get an idea of where I'm going. I'll come over here real quick. Well, I try to fix this real-time chat, which has decided to stop working. Of all days, it's like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, why? Why are you not working today? So, let's see, Chickamauga. I mean, let's see. Does this give me a map? Yeah. Well, that's Chattanooga. I don't need that. I need Chickamaugas. 1, 2. Oh, is this a driving thing? Oh. But this might be more a driving thing. Okay. 4. Okay, so this is the driving map. I'm gonna probably do that on my own. I want to go on the walking trail. This is what we've got here. Yellow and green are the primary foot trails. Trails are short. Unmarked trails are short. No horses permitted. Red trail is the main horse trail. White trail and then blue trail. Okay. Don't have a bicycle. Stay on trails. Never hike alone. Well, that's problematic. Technically, I've got Mr. Heffog. And technically, I got y'all. And these, hi, welcome on in. How are ya? We are currently planning our hike on where we're gonna go. Trying to figure out what path we're gonna be taking. We're at the visitor center. So if we head down, we could take that trail. That'll take us to a road. That's a road over there. Okay. So paved. So maybe we should just be on the paved road. We got this red one that goes all the way around, but that looks like that looks pretty extensive. So I'm thinking what we're gonna do. How long of a hike? Well, I shouldn't say a hike. It's gonna be more of a walk. Maybe a mile. Maybe if I do to that one, 0.5, and go to here, take that, and go to Snodgrass. Come around to South Carolina Monument. Ooh, okay, what if we did this? What if we went there and we went to a cemetery? And then from there, we loop back around. So that's a 0.5, that's a mile. That's 2.5, 5 miles. Ooh, do I want to walk 5 miles? It's not a walking. We'll see. Then we'll play it by ear as we go. You know? It's fold this up. Okay, for some reason this real-time chat has decided to be awful. Okay, let's put this away. Also, guys, come on. Alright. But yeah, Anise, how's your day going? Hope it's going well. It is decently warm here. As you can see, I have my arms exposed. So, you know, it's not that cold, which is good. I would type in weather right now, but my real-time chat's not working. In fact, I think what I'll do is I'll just reset this phone, and that might help. Currently putting off my own walk because it's freezing here. I don't blame you. If it's, you know, if it was cold today, I don't know if we'd be doing this. Like, the fact that it warmed up very nicely, this is great. I need warmer walking clothes. I just need warmer winter clothing in general. My winter like stock of clothing is only good for down to about low 20s, high teens. After that, it starts getting way too cold for what I have packed. Which is why I don't spend winter in, you know, cities where it gets very cold. Because unfortunately, my winter setup is not great. So, that's why I'm going to Florida for the winter. I get to see my papa and my mama. And I get to rebuild parts of my van that are in desperate need. I've had to emergency repair my table like 3 times already. And I really need to just rebuild it altogether. There's a bunch of things I've had to just rebuild in my van on, like inside my van, which is a pain in the butt, you know, so I really need a garage. Does your van stay reasonably warm? It stays warmer than the outside, especially if, like, so I have a propane cooker, and so that helps keep stuff warm. I do use as a heater too, right? It is, I know it's dangerous. People are probably like, you shouldn't be using a propane heater in an enclosed space, right? I know what I'm doing. I appreciate the concern, everyone. I know what I'm doing, so. But yeah, so, you know, on really cold days, if I spend all day in my van, maybe run my computer to help generate a little heat, right? I can usually get the temperature of my van to about 20 to 30 degrees warmer than the outside. So, you know, that can be pretty good, right? If I'm on real-time chat, I'm not going to be able to see stuff. I'm not going to be able to see redeem. So if y'all are redeeming stuff, give me a minute so I figure out what I'm going to do here. Okay, so I think there should be a path. Oh, I think this is the path right over here. So, oh, there we go. There we go. We got it working again. Good to see family. Yeah. You know, for several years, me and my papa had a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Our relationship was not great, you know? And, only recently have we really began to fix it. Like, it kind of started in 2019 when I went to go visit him in Niagara Falls, right? I think he began to accept that, like, I was Fiona and not, like, you know, someone going through a transgender phase. So, but really 2021 was the big turning point, you know. My papa found out that I'm not gonna treat family like family if, you know, they're not someone I want in my life. As he found out with my grandmother when I basically trashed her on her deathbed. Because I hated my grandmother. Like, my grandmother was an all, like, I didn't hate her because I hated her. I hated my grandmother because she was an awful person. Like, she was a terrible person. She was just a bad person. I was like, God, I was like, you go to church every week, but you're not even a fucking Christian. You're so bad at it because you do so much dumb, bad shit, and I fucking hate it, you know? But, Yeah, I let loose. I told my pop straight up. I was like, look, it's good. Grandma's dying. Good. Fuck it. The world's a better place without her. She's an awful person. And my dad took that to heart because he's like 70 and he realizes that his time may be coming soon, and he doesn't want to be on his deathbed and have me, trash talking him. Because I told him, like, hey, Grandma wanted me by his side. Or by her side. She should have tried harder, so. Thankfully, my papa started becoming real cool, and we're fixing that relationship, and I'm happy, I talked to my sister, and I told her, I was like, I actually feel like a family now, There's a whole section into that. I mean, that's deep, super deep. But let's not go too much deeper. So, as long as the outside isn't miserably cold plus 20 degrees is so cold. 20, yeah. For me, anything under 40 degrees is awful. Like I can't take anything under 40. Okay, where do I go from here? Hold on a minute. I'm a little confused. Where's me map? So there was a trail over here somewhere. Where am I? Oh, I'm right there. So there'll be a walking trail right over there somewhere. Okay, so there's a walking trail right over here somewhere. That'll take us to that. And we can take that to there. And then we can follow that trail. Okay, I think I know where we're going now. Let's find that trail. There's a trail over here. Where is it? What is the coldest weather that you've ever been in these? For me, I think the coldest I've ever been in was like single digits. No, it wasn't single digits. It was low teens. It was in Denver. I was doing my very first cross country trip. And I was going from Washington, D.C. back to Seattle. At the end of December, snatched into January. And I got into Denver. And like, it wasn't bad. It was still like 30, 35 degrees when I went to bed that night. When I woke up in the morning, it was 10 degrees. It was so cold that ice had formed on the inside of my van. I had to literally get my ice scraper and scrape my windshield from the inside. Let me tell you, scraping the inside of your windows, of your windshield, is really hard. It is a lot harder than you think. But I had to, because I was like, I can't see. How am I supposed to drive? So, that sucked. Just because people are family doesn't mean they get a pass on being awful human beings. I completely agree. Your dad, you and your dad are the point where we can work on your relationship, though. Yeah. And I think a lot helps that, So, when I say my mom, she's actually my stepmom. But she's so fucking cool. I just call her mom. In fact, when I called my papa, like, last week, and I was like, yeah, I'll talk to mama. And he was like, who? I was like, mom. He was like, mom. I was like, Cress, you know who, mom. Because, I mean, that's how it goes, right? When your biological parent marries someone else, right? Technically, they're now also mom. If you accept them, right? If it's someone that you don't like, you don't agree with, I can yeah, then yeah, I'd probably still just call her stressed. But yeah, it's mom. She's cool. So, I think I've ever experienced that bad. I've been camping crappy gear, doing unseasonably cold temps. It wasn't anything but no freezing. Ooh, lucky. Yeah, yeah, it was super cold. I was not well prepared for that kind of weather, because that was my very first cross-country trip. So I didn't know, you know, what I was supposed and not supposed to bring, or, well, yeah, I didn't know what I was supposed to bring to wear, you know. I don't have the experience that I have today, you know. So, but obviously I did just fine, because I'm here today. And the stuff that I learned on that cross-country trip was huge. I learned tons of lessons that I apply to this day. So, my dad's up in Maine. It gets pretty cold up there. Definitely single digits. I know I've been in places with negative temps, but I've stayed indoors. That is smart. It's very smart. I would also stay inside during single temperatures. Like, there just gets a point at which winter is too cold. And it's like, why? Why are you this cold? Stop it. What is this hook for? It's just this random hook. Right here. Just a hook. Can I do a pull? Ooh, can I do, no. My hands are too, well, can I do a pull trick on this? Let's find out. I'm gonna need to get off Mr. Hog. I might be able to do a shoulder mount. Alright. That didn't work out too well. I tried. Initially it looked good, it felt good, and then I got in position and I immediately began to slide down. I was like, oh no. Oh no. And my legs just gripped the pole so I didn't just completely fall. So, look at this. I guess you can come have a barbecue. Nice. Joints do not appreciate cold weather. Yeah, that's definitely something I've heard a lot of my friends say. Because a lot of my friends are, you know, like, you do have bad joints. And so, in cold weather, their joints ache. I've definitely had a lot of people tell me that. So, thankfully, I'm not at that stage of my life yet. And I've always been relatively healthy. So, I mean, it's something I'm very thankful for. There's another path? Or I just go, let's see. I guess we can go on this path. Oh, that's good. Let's see what's over here. Let's see where this takes us. So we delve deep into the woods. We may have less and less signal, so y'all just buckle up, because it's gonna get wild. Better than I could do. I mean, you know, years of practice, you know what I mean? I'm sure, you know, if you I don't know if you're able, if you think, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if your body is capable of doing pole. I know some people, they're like, they know their bodies, right? And they're like, I could never do pole dancing just because, you know, you know, maybe because it hurts too much, or they just don't have certain flexibility, or maybe the joints pop out very easily and pull just aggravates that. You know, I get that. By the way, how was your charity stream yesterday? I heard you ran a charity for, what was it, trans nuts or something? I did not get to pop in. I was unfortunate. I saw the message in Fox's stream, but what was I doing at that time? I was doing something. I could not pop in. But I hope it went well. Hope you figured out how to, you know, get the money donated. I unfortunately did not have any advice on that. Ooh, buddy. Okay. Guys. Look who it is. It's a little shaky. Hi, buddy. Alright. That's a deer. So let me go ahead and break out my map again, because I don't know where I'm at. Your knees are wonky? Yeah. Like I said, it's, you know, it's not for everyone, right? Not everyone has the physical ability to do it, right? I do. Did they give me 2? Oh no, because this is the other one. I do tell people, like, honestly, it's less about core strength at the beginning, because as you do pole dancing, you're going to develop like the core strength that you need, right? Not really a big deal. So whenever people tell me like they're too weak for pole, I'm like, you're not too weak. Trust me. You know, I wish I could just teach people for free. Like, I can. I just don't have a good dance pole for doing it. My dance pole is not very, like, I have a stage pole, but it's not very good for teaching. So, let's see. Went well. Raised 221 for trans knife nines. Even strung by for everybody to give me some talking points. Nice. I need to look at doing a charity thing at some point. I don't know. I feel like my biggest problem with streaming is because I'm in a van. I feel so... What's the word I'm looking for? Because I don't really have stability, right? As far as like a streaming setup, and I feel like everything changes. You know, every time I stream, it's like there's something new, different, right? It's so hard for me to commit to doing more than just a stream, right? Like, when I go to my papa's house, assuming his internet is good, I actually do have plans to do some really cool streams. I'm coordinating a couple stream togethers with friends, so I'm hoping to make that happen. But you know, it's gonna help to have a house and a stable, well, hopefully a stable internet. We'll find out. When I was at my papa's house 2 years ago, it wasn't great. It was enough to watch stuff. So, yeah, and that's always been the problem, spotty internet. And then also, because I travel half the year, right, it's really hard to make sure I have a good spot to have a stream. And so usually the only time I have stable enough internet is when I'm in Seattle. So, Yogurt Garrel, hi! Welcome! How are you? We're here at a military park, the military national park. This is actually Chickamauga, not Chattanooga. We shifted parks. I'm trying to figure out where we're at. I think we're right here. I think we have to go down and then take a right. So, yeah, it is a pretty day. The sun is out. The temperature's warmed up. So, thank goodness. In fact, let's see what the weather is. Snash weather. I guess I'll just type in Chattanooga. I hope I spelled that right. I don't actually know if I spelled this right. So, oh, thank you. It is 6 months old. I get my hair done once a year. I always get it done in purple so that it fades to blue before it fades to whatever color it blonde. So, but yeah, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get moving here. We're gonna head south and then take a right. But Garrel, how are you doing? It sounds like you're at work. Okay, yeah, so you're at work. So I hope you're having a good day at work. And yeah, I hope you definitely enjoy the walk as we move on through. Hopefully the internet or my signal holds. It's been holding pretty well. So we're gonna walk down this trail, and this should take us to a trail that takes us left or takes us right and takes us right again. So I need to get to the hair salon again, or salon. Been putting out. I also desperately need to trim my hair. I meant to do it before I commenced this cross-country trip. Sorry, I heard something behind me. I meant to get my hair trimmed before I left Seattle, but I waited way too long, and by the time I went to my my hair person, they were like, sorry, I have no no appointments. I was like, that's okay, I'll be fine. So I have a friend in, well, I don't know how much we're friends. I mean, we're definitely like old acquaintances from high school, and we've just stayed in contact on Facebook. Mostly because we're both Jaguars fans, so we always rave about the Jaguars. So if you're an NFL football fan, but they look like they do mostly men's hair, so I'm gonna have to contact them and be like, hey, do you do like trims on like women's hair? Because I'd love to give you my business. So just about to take my lunch break. Nice. Yeah, let us know what you're having for lunch. I'm kind of hungry. I'm actually kind of hungry myself. I should have ate, but I didn't. I also just realized I should have brought water. I didn't realize how much walking we were gonna do, and I messed up. So it'll be fine. Worst comes to worst, I just hitch a ride and I just get taken back to the visitor center. Alright, so we're gonna take a right over here. Take us back into the woods. There should be a walking trail off to my right. Oh, this looks fine. We can just take this trail. What are you at, battery? 3? Okay, good. The colors are pretty nice. I mean, you can kind of see the leaves, I think I'm kind of here at a good time, right? The leaves are just, they're kind of towards the end of falling off, but we're still going to get some, maybe I'm too late. Maybe I'm like 2 weeks too late, but, oh, here we go. So this is the trail that I was talking about. We can go here, but I think we're just going to stay on this one, because this will be okay. Made some falafel balls in the toaster oven. Gonna grab some coffee. Nice. I don't know if I've ever had a falafel ball. Damn, all this lunch talk is making me hungry. I had like a small sandwich because I was like, well, I want to take y'all to Chickamauga, and I don't want to turn y'all off, so we're gonna have a quick lunch. I do have some soup in my van that I can heat up and eat, so when we get back I can just do that, but we have to get back, but I wanna do this walk, see if we can get to the cemetery. That's the other thing I'm really excited for when I get to my papa's house is I'm gonna have access to like a full-blown kitchen. Like I'm actually gonna be able to cook stuff. So when I was talking earlier about, you know, coordinating stream togethers, I'm actually talking with a couple friends about doing a cooking together stream where we either pick a recipe or we pick a theme and then we both cook on stream, you know. And you know, we make something together, right? That would be a lot of fun. So so as soon as I get to my papa's house, I'm going to be testing the internet, making sure it's good, hopefully, and then coordinate that with people. No falafel, usually gluten free, so it's one of my favorites. Nice. Do you have celiac disease? I mean, you don't have to say, you don't have to disclose anything. I know that's a problem that quite a few of my friends have, and, you know, it sounds like something I would never, ever, ever want in my entire life. I'm like, ugh, sounds awful, having celiac disease. Definitely makes me sick. Gotcha. Well, I'm glad you know, you're able to find foods that you can enjoy and don't make you sick, because that's very important, you know. You gotta enjoy food. Alright, so there's some sort of memorial over there. I don't know if we're gonna go over it. I mean, there's a bunch of cannons. It's probably a dedication plaque or memorial. So look at that. Is my music still playing? Did you turn off music? You did turn off. Alright, let me know that music's too loud. It should be, well, hang on a minute. There we go. The music should be just right. So. Volume's good, excellent. I like providing some music so, you know, people can, you know, it's not just listening to me and trying to, you know, me trying to fill the emptiness, the silence. I'm not always very good at it. That is definitely something that people have admitted. They're like, I don't stream because I'm not very good at talking to a camera. You know, and I get it. You know, if you don't have people to talk to and chat, right, and you're not very good at talking to yourself, it can definitely become a problem. I get that. I feel like I chat to myself way too much. You know, like, you know, like I have the ability to have conversations in my head, you know, which I thought everyone could do, and that is absolutely not the case. Apparently there are people who have who can't do that, who don't have, you know, they don't have they don't just have random conversations in their head, right? I also thought that, you know, I'm very good at being able to, like, picture stuff in my head, like, so well that I can almost, like, just manipulate stuff in my head. And it didn't occur to me. Once again, I always thought that people could always just picture things so perfectly. And people were like, you know, only recently have I been finding out that there are different levels of what people can imagine, of what people can picture, right? Like, so if you take an apple, like, I can picture the apple, I can picture its redness, I can make it yellow, I can make it green, I can make it whatever color I want in my head. But for some people, they can only just imagine, like, the concept of an apple, but they can't, like, see the apple in their head, you know, it's crazy. I never imagined that, you know, people's brains worked so differently. And it's really cool to find this out, you know, and see who, you know, the differences that people have, right, with what they can see, with how their brain talks to them. It's called aphantasia, and Chat has that and can't picture things in his head. Got it. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, in my entire life, I've always just imagined that people could picture things in their head, and then I found out, like, I have a friend, like, a really good friend, who also has that. Like, she can just barely grasp the concept in her head. She knows what it is, but she can't picture it. And I'm like, oh, that's so crazy, you know? But it's cool, you know? I overimagine everything to the tiniest detail. Yeah, no, same here. Like I said, I can just, you know, imagination everything. You know, it's actually why when I build stuff out in my van, I almost never draw up, you know, any plans. Because in my head, I'm already, like, doing everything I need. Like, in my head, I'm piecing it all together. And then I just do it. You know? And in general, I'm able to, you know, measure once, cut once most of the time. Though I usually, to make sure I don't mess up my cut, I'm always more conservative for my measurements. So that if I'm a wee bit too big, I can just slim it down, right? It's part of streaming and growing confidence. Oh, I get that, yeah. That's interesting. But yeah, no, I mean, so yeah, it's just super cool, you know. Really enjoyed that. I definitely need to look more into that. Get off my shoe stick. Like, I'm gonna screenshot that so I remember what it's called, and then I can look up more about it later. I always forget to look it up. I mean, I love looking stuff up, you know. Hey, at least it's just a stick. It could have been worse. I remember when I started doing my very first streams, when I got to Phoenix, Arizona last year for winter, I started doing my very first streams in one of the, I forget which park I went to, but you know, Arizona, right? Very desert-like, right? Cacti are everywhere. And I was walking on the trail. It's actually one of my clips. It's kind of funny, but I'm walking on the trail, and I begin to realize something is stinging my leg. And I look down, and there's like cactus, like burrs that have stuck to my pants. Because I have my real flowy pants, so the pants are flowing around. And oh my god. And then I had like a burr on like my hand. Oh my god. It's a good clip. If you go into my clips, you'll find it. It's fun. Service road, do not enter. Like I don't enter, or hold up. Now I need my map again. This is a very confusing park. The fact that this is like the 6th time I've had to break up my map, because this park is got some very confusing. Where's my map? Where's my map? Uh-oh. Did I put it in here? Okay, there it is. I found it. I put it in the wrong pocket. That's why. Okay. Let's see. So we are right there. We're actually not that far from the cemetery. You know what? What's the worst that happens? I think the service road refers to cars. Because I just realized that road I just came off, ow, that also says service road, do not enter. I think they're just referring to cars. I think I'm fine to take this path. So we're gonna walk down this path. This will take us to the cemetery. We'll check out the cemetery. And then we'll walk back to the parking lot. And yeah, we'll probably end up raiding out there. But, I mean, that's like an hour away. We've got plenty of time, y'all. No one panic. Alright, we're not going anywhere just yet. But yeah, so I learned very quickly in Phoenix not to wear anything snowy that could like catch stuff. I also learned to look down a lot because people kept like warning me. They're like, hey, be careful about snakes, be careful about scorpions. Now granted, it was winter, so I think they all went into hibernation or something. I never really saw them, which was good. But still, I was always very cautious because, like, man, the last thing I want to do is get stung by a scorpion or bit by a snake. Brilliant, welcome on in. How are you? I hope you're doing good. Yeah, we are here walking at the Chickamauga Military National Park. Chickamauga was a battle site in the American Civil War between the Union and the Confederates. It was a Confederate victory. And it eventually led to the Battle of Chattanooga, which we were at earlier today. So, oh man, signal might be getting weak. We might have to turn around. Y'all let me know if it starts getting unwatchable. Doing good, just working. I already want it to be Friday. That is very true. Well, for me, every day is a Friday. Technically, every day is a Saturday for me, because I don't really work. Kind of work when I want, you know? We might have to turn around. We might not make it to the cemetery. I'm already at 2 bars. Not getting any better either. Oh, okay. We gotta turn around. Boy, we gotta turn around, you guys. We're not gonna make it too. We'll take a left when we get back to the road and see where that takes me. Yeah, I'm heading back. Don't worry. It's one of the nice things about having streamed as long as I have. Like, when I first started streaming, I was so bad at noticing that. I was so bad at noticing when I dropped. Like, I did a whole stream in Ashland, Oregon. Half of it's not even there because I didn't know how to tell if I was streaming or not. I just had bad signal in that park. So nowadays I actually can tell just by looking. So now it's starting to freeze. Ugh. Well, I hope y'all get, you know, at least 1 or 2 more days of good sun, billionth. I know how depressing winter can be up there. It's why I'm not up there. Granted, I do miss all my friends, you know. Seattle has my largest friend network. Probably I have like probably at least 20 friends up there who I hang out with and enjoy seeing, so, you know, kind of a bummer, but that's the price I pay for the van life, you know? I think we squeezed out a few days of sun left. Nice. Yeah, it is very nice and sunny today. I gotta take it in because Apparently Atlanta is supposed to rain over the next 3 days, which is a bummer because I'm going to see people in Atlanta. Well, actually, I'm actually coordinating a IRL co-stream with a friend. Really excited. Still trying to figure out what day we're gonna do it. So like, I'm waiting on them to, you know, give me a date on when. So it's gonna be like it's gonna be a walking and geocache stream. So I'm really excited. Yeah, y'all gonna be able to see a friend that y'all probably haven't gotten to see in a long time. It's not really my place to give her a story. There's some things happened this year, and so she hasn't really been streaming. So, but it'll be good to see her, and I think people would love to see her on camera again. So, how exciting, yeah. How long have I been van knifing? I have been van knifing since officially March 20th of 2021, but I still, like, I was in the process of setting my house at that time, and I officially did not turn the keys over until May, so I still had access to my house in that period. But officially, I consider March 20th the day I moved out of my, or was it April 20th? Actually, it might have been April 20th. No, it was March 20th. Yeah, I consider March 20th the official day that I moved into my van. So, it has been 2.5 years. Got a 3rd year coming up. Ooh, never mind, I'm just gonna be over here. Technically, I should walk against traffic. That is pedestrian rule number 1. If you're on a road with no sidewalk, you should walk against the flow of traffic so you can see the cars coming at you. Yeah. I did it, you know, not just, you know, kind of both save money, but also just go see, you know, the United States, pop into Canada, pop into Mexico, and most importantly, I've gotten to catch up with all my friends, right? I've basically been able to visit every friend of my life who I hadn't been able to visit for years because it's so hard to get enough time to see everybody, you know? And so, friends I hadn't seen in as long as 15 years, I got to see them. That was amazing, you know? Did I ever want to get a Sprinter van for like 6 months and travel Canada? Yeah, you definitely should. You could even just like, I had a buddy, you know, peace to him, he unfortunately passed years ago, but, you know, a couple years, back in 2021, he rented a Sprinter van, and he just took a, like, 3 months journey around the United States, and it was so cool watching his adventures, because I was just kicking off my van knifing adventures at that point, and we actually got super lucky. You know, one day I just happened to, I was in California, I was in Oakland, and I just happened to contact him. I was like, hey man, like, where are you at? Because I saw a picture update from him, that he was somewhere in California. And I was like, where are you at? And comes to find out, he was in a town like 30 minutes away from me. So I was like, dude, you want to hang out this morning? He was like, fuck yeah. So literally drove over there. We hung out, you know. It was a great, oh man, it was awesome getting to see him, you know. He was so happy and he loved it, you know. He was enjoying just being basically a hippie in a van, you know, seeing the country. So 100% recommend it. You know, even if just for a few months. You know, if you need tips on van knifing, hit me up. I will help you out so much. So, Canada's so big, I've barely been anywhere, even though I live in Ontario. Which is Ontario the one with Vancouver, or is that the one with Toronto? No, that's the one with Toronto, right? Because Vancouver is British Columbia. Okay. I live in BC, West Coast is all I've seen, yeah. You know, I've never seen enough. For how long I lived in Seattle, which was 6 years, I have never been to Vancouver. It is one of the greatest regrets that I've had so far of just not taking the time to go up there. So, I'm hoping to pick up an online job this winter, and hopefully it's a job that enables me to do more travel, because I mostly come to Seattle to work, right? I try to make as much money as possible to help, you know, fuel this knife. Okay, hang on, I gotta put y'all down. I have a rock in my shoe, and it is bugging me, so y'all get to stare off in this direction. Get out of my shoe, rock. I almost said get out of my rock shoe. Oh, that's too tight. There we go. If you ever come to Vancouver, let me know. I can show you the city. I would love that. I will definitely let you know. I definitely gotta plan it out on when I want to do it. So, but if I do it, I'll go for it next year, because I'm also looking at picking up an actual job and going back to the workforce for a while. But we'll see. Van is West Coast. If we ever decide to get an RV we were talking about, I might ask you for advice and ideas. Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Always love to help. I've got a couple friends who are getting to van life, and they've all been asking me, you know, of, especially solder. Solder power is the big one. People are always like, how do I do solder? I can teach you that. Well, I can teach you the basics. I can teach you how to calculate how much you need. So, got another trail over here. These shoes remind me of the show I'm watching called Sleepy Hollow. Nice. Is Sleepy Hollow, is that the one with the pumpkin head dude? Best time to come up is the summertime, so next would be your best bet. Oh, for sure. Yeah, like I said, I'm planning on staying in Florida till April this time. Though, part of me also wants to go to Philadelphia by March. I don't know if I'm going to do that. That's a pain in the butt. It's too cold still. I want to be in Florida till April, so that when I pop up into New England, it's warm enough. And I want to go see Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Maine. And then going to New York. There's a streamer friend I would love to go meet while I'm in New York. And then I'm still debating if I want to go through Canada at Niagara Falls and come out of Detroit, or if I want to go into Ohio. I do have friends in Ohio I'd love to see again. But, I mean, I guess going to Ohio would be the best bet. I don't know. That's something I gotta plan out in the future. That's future me problems. That's like March of 2024 Fiona. That's her problem. Alright. November of 2024 Fiona. We're just enjoying this. Oh. Oh, no. We're still doing good. Hold steady. Still got good signal, so we should be doing fine. Yep. This is such a nice walk. It's nothing like coming to like a park on a weekday. Wait. It's Thursday, right? Yeah. It's nothing like coming to a park on a weekday, knowing you're not gonna have to deal with people. We've seen like what, one other person on the trail. He did give me a bit of a stink eye. I was like, what are you doing? This is good. This is lovely. Be right back. All good. Brilliant. Should be here. Hey, Google Maps. Where am I? See, all these little signs you're seeing, they just mostly talk about, like, you know, the different brigades and stuff, right? So that just talks about the various, I forget what the army setup is. I know it's like Army, Corps, Division, Brigade. I forget what's under Brigade. It's whatever the fifth one is. That's what those smaller ones are. Oh, company. Yeah, so every brigade is made up of companies. And then, I can't remember, there's something under company. So, little military history for anyone. So, signal might start to get weak. We might have to turn back around. We'll find out. We'll keep trucking. We'll see what happens. Oh god. Speaking of, did anyone get any new games during the sale? I meant to get Bramble, the Bramble King, but I didn't realize the sale ended yesterday. So when I logged in this morning, I was like, no! So, did not get that game, which is unfortunate, because I kind of wanted it. I did get Moonstone Island, though, so... You know, y'all have seen me been playing that game, Moonstone Island. I've been loving it. No surprise, I enjoyed the demo. And Moonstone Island was one of my most looked forward to games of 2024. The Switch is supposed to get it. However, the Switch isn't going to get it until next year. And I was like, I'm not waiting that long. So I went ahead and bought it. My backlog is ridiculous enough. I get that. Yep. I mean, my backlog's pretty bad too. I'm like working my way through games. Like I started to get back into New Vegas and beat my first playthrough. I need to get into Inscription, beat that playthrough. I need to get back into Triangle Strategy and finish that game. And then there's other things I need to do, like I need to establish a Paramount Plus account and watch Star Trek. I really need to catch up on Star Trek. Most importantly, I need to watch Discovery. Because way too many people keep telling me Discovery sucks, and when I ask them, well, why does Discovery suck? The two most common answers I get are, it's not Star Trek, or it's woke. Which... let's all be honest, Star Trek's been woke forever, so you've just not noticed. And then it's different from Star Trek, but every new Star Trek that's ever come out, that's always something that's used against that Trek, right? When Star Trek TNG came out, a lot of people were like, this isn't Star Trek. When Enterprise came out, a lot of people were like, this isn't Star Trek. You know? And yet, 20, 30 years later, stuff like TNG and Enterprise are well beloved. So, I gotta watch Discovery. I've heard Strange New Worlds is good. I want to watch Lower Decks. So there's another Star Trek I want to catch up on. And I need to watch DS9 because I haven't seen that yet. Picked up Tetris Effect connected on Xbox Game Pass. haven't done Tetris 99, but yeah, Tetris Effect has been on my Switch wish list forever, but I refuse to buy it unless it hits like 80% off, because I know it's a game that I'm not going to dedicate a ton of time to. I do have Tetris 99, and I played that quite a bit. I need to get back into it. That was a fun game, so I really enjoy Tetris. Gonna be making lunch while we lurking. Nice. What are you making for lunch? You know, before you go work off. Or, you know, you can always tell us when you get back. Let me double check my signal here. It looks like we're holding. I think we're holding barely, so. You got it, phone. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You got it. Such a nice trail. Oh, got someone else. Where's he going? Okay. Oh, this must be the biking trail. So wait a minute. This is the red trail. Uh-oh. Okay. Hang on a minute. Let me pull out my map again. I forgot where we're at. Have y'all right here. Enjoy the view. Did I put my map in the wrong pocket again? Oh my goodness, why do I keep doing that? Hey me, stop putting the map in this pocket, alright? That's not the pocket I wanted in. Let's see, so we should be right. Okay, I see where we're at. We're right there. 0.7 miles away from the Dyer Cemetery. No, we're right there, okay. So if we go on this trail, should take us there. Half a mile away to Dyer Cemetery. Or we can just start walking back. We can do that too. You know what I mean? It's been a nice walk. That's gonna be almost 30 minutes. Going there and back. So let's go up that way. Well, that's 109. Okay, we'll take this. So we will take. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll take this trail down, and then we will take a left. That'll take us to Snodgrass Cabin, and then we can get on the main roads back to the visitor center. Yeah, I like that. There we go. So we're gonna re-enter People Civilization for a little bit. Ow! I just poked myself in the eye of my hair. Fuck. That hurt. Okay, let me see. Oh shit, it's been a second hour. You know what that means, guys? You know what that means? It means I owe you another set of push-ups. 15 more. So, pop you right here. Do 15 more push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ah. There we go. And remember, if y'all want me to do more push-ups, you can redeem that for 500 points. You can tell me to get down and give you 10. because stream, that's what helps keep me strong. And I'm here for it. So we're gonna head down this path. And like I said, we're gonna take a nap when we get back up to that biking path, so. Oh man, everyone's having lunch and I'm starving. It's okay. I'll have lunch as soon as we get back to my van. I already know what I'm gonna eat. Probably nothing. I'm gonna go to Freddy's Frozen Custard and redeem one of my free meals. So, oh, you hanging in there, phone? Got a cross-nicking thing over here. Signal's holding steady at 3 bars. Hopefully that's enough. Also, I do apologize for any shaky camera work. I don't have a gimbal, and one. I know it's kind of crazy to say. Oh, we might go into the part where we might not have good signal. If I remember correctly, this might be the bad signal portion. We might have to turn back around, just go back up the trail we came down. Push with me, y'all. We got this. So I try to keep it as steady as possible. If I do get a gimbal, I want to test out someone else's gimbal first. And most I want to test it on. You can. Gimbal comes as 2 pieces, right? The gimbal can screw onto any bottom piece that you want it on. I just want to make sure it works, but the other problem is the way the gimbal set up, there's no good way to attach a battery. And the way I have my my streaming setup is I have a portable battery. You can't see it. It's actually under the phone. But I have a portable battery, so I don't need a very long cord because the battery's right next to the phone. Most people I see with a streaming setup, they have that cord that's coming out of a backpack and connected to their phone, which is fine. I hate those cords to get tangled up. Okay, we got a horse right here, y'all. We got horsies. Oh, they're coming this way. They are coming this way. I think the best course of action is to hold off to the side, let the horse pass. Hello. Hi, horse. Hello. Hi, horse. Okay, that was pretty cool. Yo, I want to learn to ride a horse someday. I had a friend who had a horse. I think they still have a horse, but I think it's retired from like riding days. But I wish I had, been more proactive about being like, hey, can you teach me how to ride a horse? And I'm sure she would have loved to. I mean, I taught her how to pole dance, basically. So I'm sure she would have been like, you taught me to pole dance, so I'm going to teach you how to ride a horse. Fair is fair, you know? Oh, fuck. Okay. Where are we? I have no idea. Put you on my left hand for a bit, so it's probably gonna be a little bit shakier. My left hand's not as strong at holding. My right hand is tired. Needs a break. Alright, so we eventually had to go in that direction. So, there's a parking lot over there. I don't know if that's where I'm supposed to go. I'd like to stay in these woods as much as possible, you know what I mean? Maps, where am I? Give me the Google Maps. I don't know where I'm at. Alright. Uh-oh. Am I going the wrong direction? You know what sucks if I'm going the wrong direction? Maybe I was supposed to turn at some point. Oh shit, hang on a moment. Going to this, I'm actually heading down. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, because there's a road over here. Shit. I'm going the wrong direction. I think I missed my turn. Hang on a moment. Here's what we might do. Let me put y'all here. What we might do is we might walk across this field to get back on track here. I'm usually not this bad at trail reading, but obviously, how would I miss that? Unless... So I'm here, so if I go across... Okay, so that's what we gotta do, we gotta go across. Are we right there? Are we next to Dyer Cemetery? We might just already be there. Shit. Wait, there's Dyer Road. Okay. Nope, wrong pocket. Okay, let's go in this direction. There's how much battery we've got left. 2 bars, good. So come over here. I've only burned 1.6 gigs, so technically I'm still doing very good. I mean, I'm at 20.1 gigs for the month. So actually, if we keep going in this direction, we'll run into a cemetery. I guess, I don't know how much farther it's gonna be. There's a road, I can see it from here. Okay. This is gonna end up being a long stream. This is gonna be almost 4.5 hours, y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoy the music, you enjoy the sights. I know not if y'all are at work right now, so, you know. Is this it? I don't know what that is over there. Okay, well here's the horse noting zone. Because you can I can see the horse trailers over there. So I know where I'm at now. Wishing I was outside instead of work. I get that. Yeah. I've really been dragging my feet on going back into the workforce, and I've just been like, ugh, how much I really want to go back into working. I don't. That's the answer, but I know at some point I'm going to have to. Like, a lot of people ask me, like, how do you pay for your lifestyle? I'm like, savings and like DoorDash and Uber Eats, right? But I mean, Uber Eats isn't really, like, Uber Eats and DoorDash only, like, they only cover about a little over half of what I spend every year. So, you know, it's, yeah, it's definitely, I gotta try to get a better paying job. That's what I gotta do, but, you know, I'm gonna embrace it while I can. So, and I'm here so that y'all can live vicariously through me. Alright. Okay, so here's that. Okay, so this is the road, so if I know exactly where I'm at now, so if we take a left, we should be able to, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna, well, I think they're gonna want me to stay on the trails. So, let's go up this road. We're gonna lose a little bit of that foresty atmosphere, y'all. I do apologize. But this is gonna be the fastest way back to the van. So. And I don't have water, because I'm a dum-dum and I didn't bring water with me, so. That's something else I gotta fix when I get to my papa's house, is have a way to carry water on me. I don't have a good way to carry water, and that's not good. Alright, looks like there's our turn. Our turn's gonna be right up there. Take a left. That'll take us up to the Snodgrass house, and then from there we'll get. So, oop, got someone coming up behind me. Yeah, see, we're gonna go over there. I'm back. Awesome. Welcome back, Billionth. We have exited the forest. We are opting for the faster route, the more direct route, back to one of the paths that should get me back towards the visitor center. Because apparently I missed a turn somewhere, so we ended up way, way down here. Way more south than I thought. Which sucks. Did not want to walk down here. That was not the plan. Because this adds like a whole extra mile to my walk. So. That's okay. I'm built for this. We have the technology. I've got people who won't let me die. And we got trees over here. That's not what we want, though. That's not what we want, but it's okay. So, what's over here? I see signs. What do these signs say? Stop, restricted area, authorized vehicles only. That's a bummer. Facility management. Shoot. How do I get back? Can I just go through here? I should be able to technically. Oh no! I pulled out the wrong things. Alright, give me a second. I'm gonna look at my map again. See where we at. Give you a view of the hillside. There we go. So look at my map. So we're there. Okay, so we have to go on this road, which should be fine. I mean, we take that back there, take that there. Okay, okay, we will do that. No, it'll be fine. I need to go through here anyways. when they go like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just trying to get back to the main trail to get me back to the visitor center as fast as possible. It'll be fine. I mean, right? Because we had all those other signs that were like service vehicles only. I don't think it prevents people from coming back here. I think we'll be fine. I'm not worried. If anything, they just tell me to turn around. I'm like, fuck. Because you can see the trail from here. The trail's over there. I think it means for the house. Well, that and I mean, there's a boating over here. I think the National Park Service. I think they use they probably use this boating over here as like a forward operating boating. You know. 'Cause there's another boating over here. So Ranger. Oh, someone lives here. Ranger residence. Okay, that's pretty cool. But I can see the trail from here, so I'm just gonna, that's the trail we're going for. It's over there. So when they ask, I'll just be like, I'm going for that trail. It's the most direct path back to the visitors center. I do not want to walk away over there. So, also, as I tell anyone, any sign is only as enforceable as long as there's someone to enforce it. If there's no one to enforce a sign, it's not a big deal. Now, on the other hand, I'm also a believer that if a sign is there, you should follow the sign, but also, it's only really referring to vehicles. I don't think it refers to people. So, as long as I get over here, we'll be okay. I wonder if this person like works here. That'd be pretty cool to. That's something some van lifers do, is they'll agree to work at like, you know, campgrounds or national parks, you know, and the national park or the campground will, you know, give them a space where they can like park their van and they can sleep there, and that way, you know, when they go to work, they don't have to worry about finding a place to live. And I have contemplated that, but the problem is like a ton of campgrounds tend to be located in the middle of nowhere. Like I would definitely want like a campground that's like in the city, and that'll probably limit me to like KOA campgrounds or KOA. Although according to a friend, KOA campgrounds hate when you call them KOA. They're like, we're not KOA, we are KOA. Yeah, okay, KOA. I've only stayed in like 2 KOA campgrounds before. They're cool, but I don't do campgrounds anymore. You know, I'm all about, you know, trying to, you know, sleep for free, right? So that's where my urban stealth parking comes in handy. You know? So now we can work different shifts for different companies. I may have seen this before. But yes, I would definitely appreciate it if you could pop it over or take a look at it later. All foot traffic, stay on trail. You got it. Insta work. Okay. Let me screenshot that. There we go. I can take a look at that later. Yeah. Something else I've been wanting to get into is like house sitting, you know? But I know like house sitters, right? You want an array of skills, right? It helps to know how to care for dogs and cats, right? Which, you know, in general, you know, unless the dog or cat has some kind of medical condition, it's pretty easy, you know? I did house sitting for a friend back in 2021. No, last year, 2022. And it actually worked out perfectly because I had just bought the new van, the van that I live in now. And so I was actually able to use their house to build out my van while I was house sitting. And all I had to do was take care of their cats and their chickens and get their mail and make sure the house didn't burn down. It was a great time. The cats were very easy to manage because cats generally take good care of themselves. And, well, the chickens, I just had to go out and let them out of the coop in the morning, make sure they had water and food. And then at night, when they had all gone back inside the coop, I would go and close up the coop so that raccoons and other, things couldn't get in there, And that was basically it. It was a very easy job. So, I've always told friends, I'm like, if you ever need a house sitter, I'm available. Right? And if I need to learn something, you can show me. I learn very quickly, I'm a fast learner. I know I pretend to be dumb sometimes. It's because I don't want people to rely on me too much sometimes. But at the same time, I am more than... I'm very, what's the word? Capable? Competent? There we go. That's the word, yeah. I definitely when I was in the military, I definitely feigned incompetency quite a bit. Because in the military, the better you were at your job, the more shit they gave you to do. So, typically, the people knew I was very good at my job, and quite a few knew I feigned incompetence from time to time. Never enough to question my, my quality of work or question, my overall, work ethic. But enough to where, people were like, I don't know if we can trust Fiona in a leadership position. I was like, good. Don't. Apparently, I stopped that because in 2017, they made me an LPO for a couple weeks. I was like, damn it. So, and I shit you not, on the very first day, right? So my current LPO, he goes on leave for 2 weeks. My very first day is LPO. They came up to me and they were like, hey Chong, you ready for that fact-finding session today? I was like, what fact-finding session? They're like, oh, no one tell you? Yeah, you get to stick around after work today, and me, you, and the whole chain of command gets to figure out why this went wrong. I was like, damn it. And it was like my system, too. And, what had happened was the guy who did it messed up. And so at the end of the day, at the end of the fact-finding session, it was like, alright, well, obviously, it was chemistry, right? And the dude had messed up one of the chemistry things, so the numbers came back wonky. And the dude hadn't bothered to look at his numbers and go, huh, these numbers look wrong. And so he just popped them in and went about his day. And so I told him, look, after like 2 hours, I finally said, look, why don't I just go in, do another draw of the underwater. I'll perform the calculations and everything, and if it all comes out good, well, fine. They were like, okay, and everything came out great. Like I said, the dude who had done it, he was a division mess up. He was not very good at his job. Wait. I think I gotta go down there. So, be right back. All good. Yeah, he was like a divisional, he was a hard charger. I'll give him this much, right? He was always very good at hey, I need to get this done, so he would do it. But he was really bad at doing stuff correctly because he had been taught badly. He had been taught the wrong way to do things. And then he just had bad habits that really made it hard for him to do things correctly on a consistent basis. So yeah, I went in, I did it, and I did it super legit. I didn't have to, you know, and the numbers came out exactly what we were expecting. And they were like, huh. So, like I said, competent enough to be trusted with the jobs, not competent enough to be given LPO, except when they had no choice and were like, Fiona, you be LPO. And I was like, damn it. When I say LPO, that's leading petty officer. That's usually a position of leadership within your division on a boat, or, you know, whether it be a ship or submarine, right? And usually the LPO reported to a chief, but because my division was so small, we didn't actually have a chief. So the LPO was actually our highest ranking person. Or not necessarily highest ranking, but like person who was in charge. So, yep, I was in charge of a division for 2 weeks. That was fun. Ow. I learned a lot. But also, I was like, I never want to do this again. So, what was funny was the guy who messed up, he actually was mad that he did not get named LPO for those 2 weeks because he had seniority over me by like 2 months. But obviously they didn't trust him, because when they like brought me into the office to be like, Chong, you're being named LPO for the next 2 weeks, I was like, well, what about, you know, what about the other guy? I mean, he's more senior. And they looked at me and they were like, Chong, do you trust him to be your LPO? And I was like, no. He was like, neither do we, Chong. That's why you're LPO. And I was like, oh God, fine. Imagine being forced to be LPO because they can't trust the other senior guy. Me and him went on to go work at the same shore command, and he kept making all the same mistakes. Well, the guy was like I said, hard charger, but he was bad at the details. That's what it was. He was bad at catching the small details. He constantly made small mistakes, you know? And that's problematic, right? Especially when you work in nuclear power and little details matter. And he was just bad at the details, so. I don't know where he is nowadays. I know he got out the same year I got out, but I got out before him. So, like, somehow he joined the military after me, but but somehow I got out of the military before him. It's kind of crazy. Woo! We got an uphill walk, y'all. Okay. They should be taking us back into the forest at any time now. Anytime now. The sun is nice though, I'm not complaining. But these rocks are hurting my feet. I ain't gonna get on the grass here. Oh God. Okay, good. There's our entry back into the forest. But before we move on, it's that time again. It's push-up time. Got 15 more coming up. Let's do this. Put it right here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Woo! Oh yeah, 15 push-ups. You too can get good at push-ups. You just gotta start. You don't have to do 15, you can do 5. You can do 1. If you can only do 1 push-up, do 1 push-up. Do 1 push-up every hour. God damn it, Maffey. Damn it. How are you doing, Maffey? Good to see ya. Yeah, okay, give me a minute. Maffey coming in hard with the push-ups. I love it. So you, Maffey, 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah. That's good shit right there. That's 55 push-ups so far. Now I do have a cooldown on my push-ups, so y'all can't go nuts on me. Currently it's a 10-minute cooldown, but I'll probably drop it to a 5-minute cooldown at some point. So, but Maffey, how are you doing? Welcome on in. Welcome to Chickamauga Military National Park. We've mostly just been walking the trails. I haven't been paying any attention to any of the plaques or the signs because I don't really care. I'm not really here to bore y'all with military history, right? That's something that I'm gonna do by myself because I like military history. So I'm just here to take y'all on a beautiful walk. So. Oh God. I'm about to re-enter the forest, so you're just in time. Ow! Get off these rocks, damn it. The shoes I'm wearing are not very good for rocks. In fact, they're not very good anymore. At this point, I mean, the sole has broken through. So I really need to get rid of these shoes. So I'm wearing these shoes. I'm wearing them out until I get to Jacksonville, and then I'm gonna retire them, get new shoes. So what I need is good dad shoes. Question: why do you think there's been a surge of people who started realizing that they're actually trans? I mean, give me a minute. I got a rock on my shoe. I'm gonna put y'all down. I am gonna answer the question. I'm gonna have y'all facing this direction because there's a rock out of my damn shoe. I mean, it could be multiple things. I think a lot of it is, you know, people who go into the military. They go into the military because they need a job, right? They need money, right? The economic benefits, and also medical care, you know, right? Some people can, and I mean, you know, at the time when I joined, obviously, right, you know, trans wasn't really a thing, but I'm sure a lot of trans people, like myself, kind of joined the military and were like, you know, like maybe we didn't know we were trans, right? I think this is much more common than I think, than I imagine, but I think a lot of people, a lot of trans people, they kind of, you know, especially men to women, men, MTF, trans people, trans women, I think they joined the military as a way to prove to themselves, like, well, I'm a manly man. I'm going to do the manliest thing you can do, which is join the military. Obviously, joining the military did nothing except speed up the process. Because I actually transitioned while I was in, you know. You know, more people are realizing trans. Yeah, I mean, it's still not a huge number. I mean, I think last I heard, the number of trans people in the entirety of the military was like, I want to say it was 2,300, or was it 23,000? But like it wasn't a super big number. Or maybe no, it was 13,000. That was the number. They had estimated that 13,000 trans people were in around 2018. That were at least out or had admitted to being trans, right? But yeah, no, I think it's just a lot of it is people just they joined the military because, like I said, they needed economic benefits, or they'd been hiding a part of themselves for so long now. And, especially, society, the way it's been going in the past 10 years, it's become easier than ever to come out and, find the support that you need, right? Every year I have friends who come to me and they're like, hey, I've begun to realize that maybe I might be trans, I have a friend right now who I'm talking to. I'm helping them out. Helping them navigate and, and they've got like a lot of good online support groups. They have a therapist they've been working with, which is good, But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's no one good answer. I think there's a multitude of reasons, right, why people may be figuring it out. I mean, a lot of it, like I said, I don't think it may not be people realizing, it may be people who joined the military who, had transness been more of a thing, they would have been trans before they joined, but because they couldn't, right? And so a lot of people would have just joined and just sucked it up, right? And you had people like me who joined and basically just, I just sucked it up. Now, outside of work, people came to know me as Fiona pretty early, especially once I got to my submarine. Like, people knew I was Fiona outside of work, like, real early. Like, I think within, like, my first month on the boat, people found out about my Fiona side. Because at the time, I was more, not necessarily non-binary, but, like I was playing both, right? Like, at work, I was, like, James, and outside of work, I was Fiona. So, and I actually had distinct personalities depending on where I was at. So, like at work, I tended to be more, I don't know, calm and, what's the word? I don't want to say tactical, but, like, whereas outside of work, when I was Fiona, I tended to be more wild, right? More fiery. I tended to be a little bit more, emotional and argumentative. Because that was Fiona. That was Fiona coming out, But yeah, like I said, there's not really there's not one good answer, right? Everyone has their reasons for joining. People have their reasons for coming out when they do, right? And, we still don't know all the people who are in the military who are trans, because they may not be in a situation where they can come out, right? One of my good friends... No, sorry. I had an acquaintance of a friend who, contacted me, and they were asking me, they were like, how should I come out to people, Like, how do I do this? And I was like, well... the best thing to do, right, is to find people on your ship who you can trust, right? People that won't freak out when you tell them, hey, this is who I am. Because it's very important to establish a core of people who are going to support you before you go public. Because if the majority of the ship goes against you, before you establish a core, well, then the core that you might have established might, you know, what's that word? Mob mentality. I mean, they might just join the mob mentality because there's just so many more people on the other side. But if you get their support before it all goes to hell, they can help find other people to support, you know. And so, like in my case, my boat was super chill from the beginning. You know, my entire boat loved me, with the exception of there were a couple people on my boat who did not like me at all. Was not a fan. I think there's sometimes there that people who are fighting it tend to join the most maximum job they can find. Yeah, for sure. And actually, there was a YouTube short that I saw. Maybe it was a YouTube video. It was done by, I don't know if you've seen the axe chopping gal who lives in Canada. She basically just does shorts of her just cutting wood with like axes or fixing axes or using her wood cutting sword. Well, she does you know her, good. So she did a sit down talk. It's a relatively short episode, like 3 or 4 minutes. Oh no, it was like a 16-minute episode, but she did a Q&A, and one of the Q&As had been asking her about something about her life or something, like the fact that she's basically openly, I don't know if she's bi or lesbian or something, but basically just asking how her early life affected that. And she said that she had, you know, as a kid, had been deeply involved in the church, right? Because she knew that being gay was wrong, and so she did everything she could to be, you know, so deep into the church that she could convince herself that, see, I'm not actually a bad person, right? I'm not gay or something, right? And honestly, I did the exact same thing with the church, right? Like, when I was younger, I mean, there was always a doubt, right? Like, I never knew if I was 100% straight. I told everyone I was straight. But I just got very involved in the church, you know, just to be like, haha, you know, get involved in church, right? Because I did have my doubts about, like, being anti-LGBTQ+. And so I would get deeper into the church to, you know, convince myself, like, hey, I'm not a bad person for having these thoughts. And so the same thing could apply here, where people, you know, like I said, knowing they need money, right, economic benefits, or they just want to join, you know, do something for their country, might be like, well, I want to do the manly, you know, most manly thing possible, you know. So that could be it. But, you know, I don't have any data on that. And, you know, unless I go ask a ton of people, right? So, it's unlikely that we, you know, I'm sure there's, like, data out there where people have gathered information on everyone, and we have that somewhere on why more people are coming out, right? Did people join the military secretly trans, right? And then they just held it all in, right? And then when the military said it was okay and they realized they could come out, they did, right? It's definitely a question. It's definitely a question. It's definitely a good question, right? But it is not a question I have an absolute answer to. So, alright. So we should be able to take this trail back. This should take us back into the forest for a bit, and then we'll pop out. That should put us right by the visitor center, and we can... I don't think anyone really does, to be fair. Yeah. Brilliant, welcome back in. Hopefully work isn't working you too hard. We're back on the main trail. We haven't missed too much here. We should be reconnecting with the green trail, unless this is the green trail. I don't know. Work's getting slightly busy. All good. Come on over here. Ooh, back into the forest we go. Let's do this. Nice. I may disappear here and there. All good. All good. Hey, it is no worries. I understand people have to work, right? You know, I appreciate people, you know, everyone's lurking. I'm glad I could be your DJ for, you know, for the time being, right? I'm glad I could show y'all some beautiful scenery. Right? This is a great path. I'm very glad that the signal has held. I'm happy that, like, it's not been very busy, so we've been able to just walk around, show y'all all this, right? Just a great path. And it's definitely a good way to test my new setup. So, you know, I got a new setup going, but it enables me to see my chat phone, so I'm able to stay up with redeems much better. That's been my big problem, staying up with redeems. So streaming's looking good. Yeah, well, we're getting, you know, we're greedy Canoes back. We're actually gonna take this trail over here. So it's not necessarily a new setup. It's a new way of setting things up. Like, I think I finally found a way to get things set up so that, you know. Oh, brilliant. I am super sorry. When I do IRL streams, sound alerts do not go off. I forgot to turn them off before I did this stream. And unfortunately, without my computer, I cannot turn them off. So, Dark Zony, have a good day. Thank you so much for popping on in and hanging out. It was so lovely to see ya. And see you next time. Okay, there's this green trail, but this just takes us to the path. So, you want to see if you're able to see it? Oh yeah, no, I can definitely see the alerts well. So, and now, you know, when we're done streaming, I mean, I guess I could. Well, give me a minute. Let me take y'all off here. I can just show y'all real quick. Let me just get y'all set up into tripod mode. All right. So let me take y'all off here real quick. You can kind of see, right, how I can just have y'all set down like that. But this being right here, this is new. Because this used to either be up here, or this used to be on my wrist, or in my pocket. But I didn't like it on my wrist because it limited my movement. I didn't like it up here because it would block my camera. And I didn't like it in my pocket because then I would miss sound alerts, or not sound alerts, I would just miss redeems. So, but I found a way to attach this to here through this little opening right there, and so that's been really useful. So, and so that's the setup. And then I was mentioning again how I've got the battery, right? You can see my battery pack right here. So you can see I only need a cord that's this long to connect to the phone, which goes right here. And then I do need a this phone. But honestly, this phone doesn't really need a charge, I think. I would love to get a second battery on here somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to fit it. I'm out of room. So, Runner, welcome on in. How are you doing? Good to see you. The walk is going well. We are on the tail end of it. We are, well, about 10 minutes of walk away from my van. I was just showing off my current setup of how of how y'all set up my tripod. So, taking a break to make some lunch. Once came saying, howdy, nice. What are you making for lunch? I'm actually really hungry myself, so as soon as I get back to my van, we're gonna raid out, and I'm gonna eat, because I'm hungry. Like, my stomach is like, you need to eat. I'm like, I know! Calm down, stomach. Damn. So, And speaking of runner, I gotta make sure I get back to you and drop you a photo, because I saw that you stream stuff, so I want to definitely pop into your stream at some point when I get the chance. Had some chips and salsa, now baking some vegetarian chicken nuggets. Nice. Oh, that sounds so good. Yo, vegetarian and vegan food has come so far in the past like 5 years. like I enjoy, like, I know an Impossible Burger is not very good for you, but man, do I really just enjoy eating an Impossible Burger, because it tastes like I'm eating pork. It's crazy, and I love it. Let's see. Craving sushi, but I don't want to leave my house. You could always, I don't know if y'all have Uber Eats or DoorDash, you could order. I mean, that's expensive though. I don't think anyone should use Uber Eats or DoorDash unless you just need the sheer convenience. That shit's expensive. I don't blame people for not wanting to tip. So, I need to go grocery shopping today. Damn, I need to go grocery shopping too. I'm like running really low on like actual food in my van. I mean, that's a lie. I mean, I still have, if I needed to survive, I have plenty of food. I have MREs, I have a bunch of emergency stash, you know, food bars, right? I have enough food, honestly. If I did not resupply, I have enough food to last out probably 3 weeks in my van. If I ration, I could probably make my emergency supplies last like a month and a half, 2 months maybe. That's just the food though. Water, that's my bigger problem. So, let's see. Big fan of Morningstar veggie chorizo. Ooh, that sounds so good. Overdue for a haircut, so I may get a haircut and pick up sushi. Nice. Spent $30 once on a single meal from DoorDash. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, there's a price for the convenience, right? I get it. When I lived in Seattle, I didn't have a car, and Chipotle delivery was over $30 a tip. Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right? If you don't notice, you don't actually have, I mean, you don't have to tip, right? Eventually, DoorDash and Uber Eats will raise the money that they pay to their drivers. It just depends on how warm or cold you care about your food, right? If you want your food fast and hot, you have to tip. If you don't care about getting your food like an hour later and cold, then you don't have to tip. And eventually, you know, DoorDash and Uber Eats will pay enough and someone will take the order. Or you'll get lucky and maybe someone like me needs to go to your part of town and I'll deliver your food. I've taken bad orders before because I had to go to that part of town for something. So it's like, I guess I'll take this $4 order and drive 12 miles, you know? It happens on occasion. But you don't get a lot of people like me, so. Started cutting my own hair during the pandemic and just stuck with it. Wear lots of hats. Nice. When I was in the military, I also cut my own hair all the time. Because I didn't want to pay for haircuts. And in the military, no one cared. So I would just shave my hair all the time. I would put my razor on like 0.5 or 1 and just be like, wah, 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 shave it all off. Jessica's Bell, thank you so much for your second month of subscribing. Hope you enjoy your ad-free viewing. Enjoy the Mr. Half-Hog emotes. Mr. Half-Hog, come give him that good old hello and thank you. Look at that. He's happy. Mr. Half-Hog thanks you. There it is. Hello. Now we live out of the country, food delivery doesn't come this far out of town. Yeah, food delivery, way too expensive. And yeah, Mr. Half-Hog, for anyone who doesn't know, that is Mr. Half-Hog. He is the travel buddy, travel companion. He sits down here, right at my hip, bam. And there he is. And yeah, he's with me. He's with me almost all the time. I'm almost never without Mr. Half-Hog. If you ever see me without Mr. Half-Hog, you should question if it's even me, right? I mean, if I'm like shopping and I clearly have like a bag and I'm just doing shopping, right? Like grocery shopping, then I tend not to bring him. But if I'm at like a park like this and I don't have Mr. Half-Hog, question who it could be, because it might not be me. Hope I'm spelling it right. Half-Hog. Very close. It's one F and no space. It used to be just Hedgehog, but you replaced a D with an F because I misspelled the name. And someone was like, "You mean Mr. Hedgehog?" And I was like, no, I rolled with it. And I just like, Mr. Half-Hog. And now his name has just evolved into Half-Hog. Yep, that's exactly it, Billion. Perfect. And, you can call him Mr. Hef for short. Yeah, great travel buddy, goes with me everywhere. If you go to my Instagram, he's all over my Instagram. That's just, it's him. That's why I don't even give him his own Instagram, because he's all over my Instagram, so. Okay. Shit, which way do I go? I've got a fork. Huge Hefner. Uh-oh. I think I have to go this way. Yeah, I gotta go this way. I recognize that gate. So I'm trying to get back to my van. I'm hungry. I want to eat. But Jessica, how are you doing? How'd the rest of your stream go last night? I hope it went well. I hope you got some good sleep. I know you were up. Well, I mean, from my perspective, it was super late, but it was also, like I said, I'm 3 hours ahead of you. It was, well, was it 1 in the morning for me? So it was like 2200 for you, so. Got her on. My sister's coming to visit. I had to clean my entire messy house. And these, thank you so much for popping in. It was so enjoyable getting to talk with you. I hope you, you know, have fun trying to clean your house, you know, enjoy it if you can. And, I'll see you next time. What's on the menu today? For me, it's just, uh-oh. Are we good? Are we good? Looks like we had a small disconnect. Oh, we're good. For me, I'm just gonna warm up some soup. Warm up some soup and dip some bread in, because my food supplies are very low. I'm out of rice. I have no tuna. I have no chicken. I have no noodles. So, I'm really low on, like, my 4 staples. And I have no veggies. I have 1 apple. So, you know, my options are real slim right now. I have no ramen noodle. I used up my last can of soup. So, I do still technically have, like, the little soup, things. What are those? There's cubes that you can throw in to make into soup. I have those. So, I'm not completely screwed, but I usually only like those with, like, noodles. So, I need to get more noodles. I finished my 10-pound bag of pasta. It took me a month and 5 days. And now I'm sad because I have no more pasta. Can of soup and a grilled cheese. Oh, grilled cheese sounds. Can I make grilled cheese right now? Shoot, I don't think I have cheese. Damn. Grilled cheese just sounds really good right now. I do have bread, but I'm also running out of that too, so I really need to go to the grocery. But I'm also like, I'm towards the end of my trip, so I'm also like, can I just wait? I could just push through. I mean, I don't know. A good broth can sometimes have a surprising amount of protein. Yeah. What I need to do is I need to go to Costco and just get myself a rotisserie chicken. That's what I need to do. And some more rice. I mean, no. I think I have a backup bag of rice somewhere. I gotta look around my van. Here we go. We made it. Alright, y'all. I think what we'll do, because I'm parked right over there. You can actually see my van from here. Hi, van. Yeah, let's get back to the van. We can get y'all put down, and then we can look at who to raid. Yes, hello, van. Taking in that solar power, charging my batteries as needed. My knife 9. You're gonna need to, you know, drink it all up, van, because we're about to enter some stormy weather over the next 3 days, and I'm not excited about it. Rotisserie chicken, a bag of rice, and go along. Oh yeah, oh absolutely, absolutely, and especially Costco rotisserie chicken, because that shit's only $4. I always tell people, I'm like, I'm the type of customer that Costco hates, because I only get gas, tuna, and chicken. And that's because it's all significantly cheaper than any competition. So, yeah, $4. So, I need to figure out where the nearest Costco is, because, yeah, Costco do hate me. Costco wants middle-aged, successful moms who are working with kids, and those moms will buy shit tons of stuff from Costco because, you know, they can't do, they can only afford time for 1 or 2 shopping trips a month, so they always have to make sure to get as much as they need. And of course, they never ever finish everything, so then they end up having to come back and buy more, you know? And that's literally, I mean, Costco, they make money via membership and that. That's how they make all their money. Pizza there is so, oh yes it is. Yes it is. I know getting, I might do that too. I might get Costco pizza there. Well, no. I don't want to get Costco, hang on. We'll do Costco tomorrow. Because I actually need to go to Freddy's Frozen Custard today. Because I have to redeem a free meal. This is my last day to do it. So. God, I had to come all the way to this bridge. There's a whole ditch here, right? I don't actually know if I can go through the ditch. But also, this national park wants you to stay on the trail. So, I'll be a good girl. Stay on the trail today. I thought people save buying things in bulk. They do. It's the things that you buy are used in a proper amount of time, right? So let's take milk for example. So when you go to Costco, you have to buy milk in bundles of 2, right? It's cheaper than buying, 2 milk at any other store, but it's a little bit more expensive than buying 1 milk at a store. But unless you go through both milks, you end up wasting milk if you don't finish. Then you have to go back and buy those 2 milks again. So in effect, Costco's making you pay 1.5 more for milk that you may not be finishing, right? And this goes with vegetables, meat, everything, right? Yeah, press for time, right? They overpurchase, they always come back, right? Costco knows what they're doing, right? Because, right, but, and you are right, Bill, if people do save buying in bulk, but if that were always the case, then Costco wouldn't be in business, right? They would lose too much money, and they would go out of business. They stay in business because, once again, because of their membership, right? People might get the membership and use it once, maybe twice. But also, because people tend to overbuy. And then they end up having to throw everything out and buy a ton of shit again. People don't realize how much food they actually need because they buy so much at one time. it's hard for them to realize sometimes that, hey, they might be buying a little too much food. So, and that can be tough, especially if you're cooking for a whole family whose desire on what to eat changes by sometimes the day or the hour, right? So that's what Costco takes advantage of. So shocked at how much people buy. Yeah, no, people buy a shit ton. It's crazy. So alright, y'all, let's figure out who we're gonna raid, because obviously we're back here at the van. I appreciate everyone who's been here today. I hope y'all enjoyed the walk. It was very lovely. It was a fun walk for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Ooh, got MX9. Ooh, Redria is on. Yo, let's go raid Redria. It's been so long since we've raided her. If y'all can stick around for the raid, bring the love from the Flipsy Prickle. Also, stick around because Redria will sing for us. And it's lovely. I love raiding Redria very specifically for her raid song. Like, she sings to us live, and it's awesome. So let me go and get this raid kicking. Raid channel. Where is it? There they are. They're playing the new Super Mario Brothers. So, you know, if you don't want any spoilers, you can leave after she does the song, because she usually does the song pretty quick. Let me go and get y'all the sub raid. There we go, sub raid and the raid 2. Y'all know who you are, right? Either use the hedgehog or the wings. And thank you to everyone who popped in today. It was so good against everyone, right? Dark Zoni, Billion, Jessica, Geralt, Billion. I may have said you twice. Runner, Anise. I missed someone else. There's someone else. Who was it? Maffy. I think that's everyone. Y'all, thank you so much for popping on in and hanging out. I hope, once again, I hope y'all enjoyed the walk. It was a great walk. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And Jessica, thank you so much again for the sub. I don't know, the next stream is probably going to be in Atlanta. It's probably going to be at a park. It is going to be with a fellow streamer. We are planning out the exact day. I will try to let y'all know in advance. Chances are there's going to be an announcement in Fox's Walk stream. So, you know, if you're with Fox Walks, you'll see that. Anyways, I'm going to go and pop my butt over there, so I'm there to receive y'all. Mr. Halfhog, come give him the good old goodbye, and I'll see y'all over there. Bye.